Hi guys, how you doing? Hope you are having a great day and you're all well and safe. Back in the day, I was an avid collector of watercolour books, and this is one of the books I bought by an artist called John Blockley, and he inspired me a lot. Just give you a quick glimpse of some of the stuff he did. This is sort of typical of his work, and not your normal watercolour artist at all. He was way out there doing stuff no one else was doing, messing around with different types of glazes and adding stuff to his paint to make it do weird and wonderful things. I'll put a link to his website below if you want to check him out. But I was playing around with the new watercolour brushes in Krita, and I thought John Blockley sprung to mind, and I thought, I reckon I could do something in that style using the new watercolour brushes, and this is what I came up with. So let's just check out the video and see how I went on. Right, first of all, you'll see I've already got my source image loaded in here, and I've got a canvas size that is exactly the same size as the photo, because usually I work on a different aspect ratio or slightly different scale, and it all goes a bit pear-shaped because I run out of space or things aren't quite the same. So I've actually made sure that the canvas size is exactly the same size as my source photo, and you'll notice if YouTube has done a decent job, you'll notice there is a texture on my canvas. If I zoom in, you can see that. Now that is I don't like the textures where you can edit fill texture. I think that's an option, edit fill with pattern, because it like puts a repeat pattern on it. So I've got this layer here which says Artrage 36 by 24 inch natural. That is a texture that I made by photographing a piece of Artrage watercolour paper, and I've set the blend mode to darken and the opacity to 60%. You can get this free. I'll put a link to you have to download it or go to where I have this available, and it is part of a pack of brushes and stuff, but you can just get the paper if you want. You don't have to download everything else. So I'll put a link to that. I've then got a layer 1, which is just coloured in white. That's all. And I'm going to lock that layer because I don't want to work on that. I've got my Artrage layer locked, and I'm working on layers in between. And today I'm going to do something really different, because I'm going to try and do a piece in the style of an artist called John Blockley, and he was pretty much revolutionary in the day, because he was sort of, the work he did was groundbreaking, and when everybody was painting in traditional style watercolours, very sort of, you know, what you'd expect, he was doing all sorts of things, weird and wonderful things, and inspired me a lot back in when I first got into watercolour painting, which was back in the 90s, early 90s. And I've got a couple of books of his. So if you want to check him out, his website is johnblockley.com, and I will put a link to that in the description as well. But you may be thinking, why, Steve? Why would you want to paint like John Blockley? What's inspired you to do that? Well, I'll tell you, the new watercolour brushes in Krita, created by Ramon Miranda, I thought would lend themselves to this style of painting really, really well. So I thought I'd give it a go. And he uses lots of sort of salt glazes and things like that in his paintings. So you'll get lots of textures appearing and stuff. And really exciting kind of work, which I'm hoping to sort of emulate here if I can, or be inspired to produce this. Lots of tonal contrast, going from lights to darks in his work. So I'm going to try and do that, but lots of flat shapes as well. He sort of takes a row of buildings and just almost paints them in silhouette, but in reverse. So they become the light part of the painting, and what you'd expect to be the dark bit becomes light in reverse. It's almost, I guess, painting in negative type sort of style, which I thought would be a fun thing to do here. I've never done anything like this before, so this is something new for you to see, and hopefully, inspire you as well. And this piece that we're looking at, the photo we're looking at, sort of talking a lot while I sketch, which is unusual. I think I'll just speed through this sketching because again, I don't want this video to be too long, and then I'll get back and tell you the story behind the photo. Okay, so I've got my pencil drawing finished. I have named the layer pencil. I've locked that. You can see there's a pencil layer. I've created a new layer. So I'm going to use the watercolour brushes that are available now with Krita as default. And I've got them put in a tag down on the right hand side, or I can choose them from this picker here by clicking on the button on my stylus. So the brush that I'm starting with is this big brush, which is the Water Sea Spread. It's really cool. I'm just going to start putting in some local colour, I guess some sort of warms. Now, John Blockley is renowned for sort of industrial landscapes and things, so he's not known for pretty scenes. They're quite grungy looking, and I think these brushes are really going to help out in that respect. Look at that, a bit of light pressure. You get dark colour, and then you put heavy pressure on. It just washes it away next to nothing. I'm thinking I ought to be really bold actually, and put a few bits of really bright colour that are going to pop through, possibly. So some grungy greens, or guess sort of sea coloured greens. Well, that bit was wrong. I didn't quite get that right. So he uses a lot of dark tones on his work. And paints these negative colours or negative shapes. So we'll be painting around the buildings, and all of these buildings here are going to be negative shapes when I get into it. Let's create another layer. So I'm going to start with the sky, and I want kind of a sort of warmer sky, and if I put light pressure on, I get really dark colour. And if I just lighten up that pressure a bit, look at that. You can really see that now. So I can put in this sort of dark edge along the side of the building. I can lighten that up. That will almost. Take that down there like that. Look at that. That to me just looks so watercolour like. I can tidy up, just get the eraser, make it really small, just sort of tidy up in the odd place. Just to give the impression of some roof lines going off there. That building. Down there like that. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And I'm going to... I'll probably come over this with a different colour again. But I'm just going to use this same colour. And I'm thinking... Let's define this wall. Can't afford to take the brush off, otherwise you get those dark patches that you cannot blend. You've got to keep that stylus on the surface, which is the tricky bit. Sort of counter-intuitive. Around these rocks. Oh, when I was doing the drawing, I was just telling you about what the deal is with these rocks while they're all piled up like this. Well, there was a local artist of St. Ives that spends his days, I guess, stacking up these rocks and producing these pieces of art. And he sits there in his working clothes, which are also covered in sand and, you know, all the debris and dust and stuff. And he just sort of piles these rocks up, and people donate into his hat that he's got. I think maybe I need a smaller brush for this bit. It's not quite happening. Let's see what else we've got. Let's go to the next one down. Let's see if that does a similar sort of thing. I'm not sure what all of these brushes do. That's not quite going right. Effect. It's a bit more of a textured effect, but I quite like it because this painting is all about texture and breaking rules, I guess. I can put light pressure on and then a bit heavier, and it sort of really blends that out. Look at that. That looks so like a watercolour. I want to do that up here now. I want to I wonder if I've got a blending brush. Will this soften anything? What will this do? Yeah, that can soften away. So this is the watercolour water pattern. Just sort of take that away a bit. and he has a fair bit of line work in his stuff as well, sort of defining shapes. We can sort of go back in and lift this colour out like that and draw a rock back in. This is a lot of fun. I am having a blast doing this, I have to say. I just need to tidy this up a bit, I think. I think some of these rocks I will put in as sort of dark shapes. And then others will be negative silhouettes. Yeah, here we go. Right, this brush. I've swapped brushes, haven't I? I'm on this second brush, which is the spread pattern. I think I want to bring a little bit of sort of grungy colour. I say grungy because I'm not saturating the colour for the water. This brush doesn't let you put really dark colour on there. I could sort of just get the eraser and make a few lines in there like that. That sort of water effect. Yeah. I'm thinking down here, let's get some of these browns in. I do feel like I want to press on hard for the colour, but you've got to do it the opposite. You have to light pressure. Light pressure for the darker colours, and then heavy pressure to sort of add water, just blend that colour away. So don't forget, check out John Blockley. Real inspiration. He has been to me over the years. I don't want to do any more than that to that building, because that's how he does it. He just almost leaves these pencil lines. I could let's change a brush. Let's go for the. I'm just working my way round, sort of back to front, starting from the left. So I'm going with this watercolour spread. I don't know what that's going to do. Oh yeah, that's perfect. But it's the wrong colour though. Let's go back to this darker blue. I want to put this in negative. Not negative, as a dark. Just sort of wash it away. It's not quite working. Hang on. I've got my technique wrong. That's it. Just use that water. Just to soften that out. You wouldn't think it was a lovely sunny beach, would you? Right, let's cut into some of these rocks. So I've flipped my stylus, using it as a razor. Go. And draw some of these sort of smaller stones. I'm not even attempted to make the stones the same as the photograph. This is just an impression. There we go. I suppose I'm going to have to put these people on it because they're quite important, really. I should have sketched them in first. Let's yeah, I'm gonna just go back to the sketching tools. Go back to my pencil layer, unlock it, choose a pencil. I think I was using that one, which is just the hard pencil, which is probably not the one I was using actually. I usually like softer pencils. Try that. That'll do. And I don't want detailed figures, you know, I just want sort of something like that really. Like that green dress she's got on. I reckon if I put sort of that emerald colour. It's not the best drawing, is it, that? She's I think she's taking a picture of me, taking a picture of her. I think that's what's going off there, you know. What I'm doing with that, that'll do. That'll do. Just an indication, and I definitely need these rails in. They are quite integral to the painting. That's better. Yeah. Just those two little bits of detail. And so I'll lock that off again. I think it's time we created a new layer. I'm thinking, should I? No, yeah. I'm going to create a new layer. Layer 5. I don't generally keep locking off the painted layers I'm working on because I quite often dip back in and erase bits out and things. So I can't have that kind of emerald. Can I? Can I have that emerald green desk? Try something like that. Let's see. Oh, I've got the pencil. Damn. Let's go back to the watercolour brushes. I did it this way. I know I was on that one, wasn't I? The watercolour spread. I think that might work. Yeah, I've got to just painted her own green. Just like a little bit of colour like that. Then back to the grunginess again. I'm going to be too grungy. There we go. You know what? I'm thinking that I should. I'm kind of getting away from his style. I need it to be silhouetted like that. Just an indication. I can't be going in painting figures. It doesn't work. It's not the style we're looking for. Right. So, what's this colour? Is it nice and dark if I do that? Yeah, it is. Can I soften it off with a bit of... Oh, this one works the opposite way around. More pressure, lighter colour. But you definitely get that lovely watercolour effect. So just soften it away, look. I'm just looking for shapes and painting them in and then blending off areas of colour like that. Looking at this bit, and this is all sort of, should be smaller rocks. Oh. Right, I'm just going to use the eraser now and draw some of these rocks back in now. I've added more colour. Go. That's actually sitting. So I need to take that out. I want that all to be a silhouette. Like that. Possibly paint a rock in front of that. I've reversed the colours there with, the values. What was dark has become light, and what's light has become dark. You see with this rock, and then I can come around this rock. I wonder if I can just zoom in a little bit. Push a bit smaller. I love the way you just apply that bit of pressure, and it's just like adding some water to the colour, and just take the pressure off, and you're adding more paint. If you haven't tried these brushes out yet, you really should. There's something else. They're all, amazingly, they're all free, absolutely free. That's commitment to the cause, isn't it? Right, there's a lot to go with this yet, because I'm going to do loads and loads of sort of glazing and adding textures and things. So I'll just do a little bit of painting like this, but don't go away, because all the fun stuff is still yet to come. So we're not nowhere near finished. I'll just keep quiet now, just for a little while. Okay, so that's the main rocks done. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm on layer 7 now. And I'm going to choose, I think I'm going to put this little railing in before I start doing all the grungy stuff. Let's choose this basic lines dry brush. I want a really dark colour. I want that. I'm selecting these colours off this palette. It's a sort of a palette that's forever changing with what colours you pick. So it's kind of in an intelligent colour palette, I guess. Did I change my brush then? No, basic dry. Let's try that. Okay, that's cool. I like that, except the brush is just a little bit too thick. Zoom in a bit for this, I think. Maybe that's not the right brush. Let's try the next one. It was... it's a weird brush, that is. I was just having a look to see how it... how it performs. I'm not sure they're the two brushes I want. Not for this. Let's try the third one. Don't know what this is going to do. Yeah, that's a bit better. Because I actually physically want to paint. Get some sort of sharp strokes in there. The colour might be a bit dark. Let's just zoom out. No, I don't think it is actually. I think that's fine. Leave them people in like that. Oops. I wonder if I could sort of just do a bit of where the rust has run down the wall like that a little bit. I'm just doing some sort of defining line work now. I just wonder if it needs a bit of dark just there. Come back to that in a bit. So I'm just sort of thinking about the shapes of these rocks and putting fracture lines in, I guess. And obviously, the less fussy you are, if you can just sort of go boom, boom, boom like that, you will get a much more painterly effect. And I think it just looks a million times more effective than painstakingly drawing around every little shape. I'm a bit close up. I need to just zoom out. Let's see if I still like what I'm getting. Yeah, I do. I think I'm going to change the colour up a little bit. It doesn't all have to be this dark colour, you see. Adding a bit of contour to the lines. I wonder if I need another wash over the front of that. I tell you what I like to do. I like to just sort of knock it back as a thumbnail and then look at it for a few seconds, and it can help me evaluate it. And I can see I've got this light area top right. I need a bit more dark bottom left, I think, just to balance that up. So I'm just going to go in, create a new layer so I don't mess my lines up. Choose that big wash brush again, getting that sort of dark, just change the colour up a little bit. Bit of grunginess down here. Oh, I can start putting in the grunge now, I guess. So I want to use this airbrush, and it's called an airbrush, but I think, I have to say, to me it looks more like salt glazing than an airbrush. Like you've sort of, salt glazing in reverse, I suppose, because if you sprinkle salt, like rock salt, on a painting, and then you let it dry and rub it off, the salt absorbs the paint and leaves these little white marks. I wonder if I was to, yeah, like that, so, sort of give you this salt glaze effect, or this grunginess. And I've done it by using white paint. Ramon, another genius brush, I have to say. You've got to get Krita, everybody. If you haven't got it, please do yourself a favour. If you've got a PC, and I believe it's out on Android. I haven't got an Android, so I don't know what features it supports, and does it have these brushes or not. I don't know. If you know, if you could put in the comments, that would be cool. I'm going to go back to a darker colour. Add some like splattering, I suppose, like putting paintbrush. Oh, it's gone back to the light colour again. Paintbrush on a paint on a toothbrush and splattering that. And just feel like that. That's a bit too much, man. We've got this spongy brush as well. Let's have a look at that. What does that do? Sponge. I've still got that orange. Yeah, oh, that's nice. I like that. But not the orange. Actually, you know, I could just pop a little bit of where I've got the rocks. A bit more splattering, a bit of the darker colour. If I make that smaller, do we get a smaller texture? We do, don't we? That's nice. There, you know, I'm thinking I don't want to do too much more to this. Let's just zoom it out a bit. I'm going to call this done. I like it. I'm going to sign it. So I'm going to go back to my sketching. Nice pencil. I've got a grey, that's cool. Zoom in a little bit. Let's get a nice signature on here, probably. Perfect. So, a painting inspired by John Blockley. Check him out, johnblockley.com. Link in the description below. It's not painting in the style of. He's just inspired me. I wanted to use these watercolour brushes to see if I could do something a little bit that's just not a kind of a classic watercolour painting. I think they are superb. It's worked really well. I'm really pleased with it. It's not everybody's cup of tea, I know that, but I love it. I love it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got loads of videos like this and I would love to be sharing them all with you. So hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, don't forget everybody, stay safe, stay sane and keep painting. Bye.